So go back here. We'll just do a thumbs up. See if everybody can hear me. Yeah, cool, perfect, lovely. If you've got blocks, they might be handy today, but obviously if you haven't, don't worry about it. As usual, if you want blankets, cushions, whatever, then just make sure they're close to hand. This is our, what are we? Well, what is the date? Oh, it's the third week, isn't it? So we are now in the waning phase of the moon. So we had the full moon last week, and the sun has now moved into Aquarius. I always feel I have to sing that. And as I bored you with towards the end of last year, Pluto has moved into Aquarius, which only happens every 20 years. So there's some big Aquarius energy for the time being. And it's this really lovely heart space, right? We talked about what Aquarius means and what this means. And it's really about getting into our hearts, into not the superficial layer, but the really deep part. And we're still in the winter, we're still in this inner part. So we're going to keep going deep into our hearts, always with love and compassion. And really starting to listen, really listening. I know I've talked about this the last couple of weeks, but we want to listen to our heart's desires and actually start over this very long period, 20-year period, sort of making that happen. Making that happen. Whatever our soul is asking of us, making that happen. So little steps, little steps. So today we're going to think about expanding, opening, but also softening. So we're going to bring a little softness. So sitting comfortably, softly on the floor. You might want to bring the hands onto the knees or into just your meditative mudra. Or if you want to take another hasta mudra, you can take Padma, which we're all quite familiar with. So soft fingers, fingertips together, create that little heart space in the middle, hands to the heart. And you can either close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And just allow yourself a few moments to settle. Starting our practice with that question of self-inquiry. How do I feel? And it may not be obvious to us apart from maybe that superficial, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I've had a hard day. And that's why we create this space for our practice to be rather than to do. So we can get deeper, we can pull back all of those layers, those expectations, those to-do lists, those behaviors that we maybe feel we have to ascribe to during the day, and really sink deep into our hearts, our soul, our self, our spirit, however you want to see that. Finding that connectedness, that unity that yoga is really all about. So maybe as you settle into your practice, connecting with the anchor of the breath, at first through observation, observing that gentle rise and fall of the breath as you inhale and release. Softly inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing that softness in the body. One more together. Inhale. Let it go. And either staying with this rhythm of breath or dropping into a nasal breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Dropping into those long, deep breaths using all of the lungs. The chest, the ribs, the belly expand. And then in reverse, belly, ribs, chest soften. Noticing that feeling of expansion and contraction, that divine vibration of energy, prana, life force coming in and out of the body. Using the breath as that connection to all those layers of ourselves, the physical, that expansion and contraction, the energetic, that life force coming in and out. The mental, using the breath as that mental anchor to keep our focus. The emotional, again, using the breath as that representation of the ebb and flow of emotions, of life, of the highs and lows. And that connection at the deepest level to the spiritual, that interconnectedness of all of us, of all matter, of all life, of the universe, and beyond. So today we're really thinking about creating that expansion, but inside ourselves. The more we can send that compassion and love to ourselves, the bigger we can be, the bigger we can feel, the bigger we can allow ourselves to be in that expansion of love. Love is an expansive energy. The more that will resonate to those around us. And thinking about that new phase we've gone into Pluto, the more that will bring all of us in this entire planet of Earth into a place of love and unity and connection, which we all so desperately need. So if you want to set a sankalpa, an affirmation, it may simply be, I am love. If you want to take it a little deeper, it may be, I love every single part of myself. I send love into even the darkest, most shadowy parts of myself. Or maybe my word for this year, I think I've said this before, is kindness. Quite simply, I offer kindness into those dark, shadowy bits of myself. So taking a final moment here, allowing that ebb and flow, that expansion and contraction of the breath, really noticing that in the heart space in particular, the heart chakra and the heart are right in the center of the chest, the body, bringing balance, restoring equilibrium. And when you're ready, no matter where the hands are, release them in front of you. Maybe wiggle the fingers, maybe gently rotate the wrists. If rotating the wrist doesn't work for you, maybe just gently open the fingers and then close them. And then we're going to bring the hands back to our Padma, so fingers together, little gap in the middle, and we're going to start to move with the breath. So we're going to inhale, lift to the sky, lift the chin. Exhale, bring your little lotus flower to the heart, round the spine. So bring the chin to the chest, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, we open, send the tailbone away, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine, hands to heart, chin in, tip the pelvis forward. Last time, inhale to lift. Exhale, round the spine. And then we're going to make this a bigger movement. So inhale, lift the hands, the heart, the chin. Exhale, open the hands out to the side. Inhale, lift the hands and the chin back up. Exhale, we open as wide as you can. Maybe send the hands backwards behind you. Inhale, lift one more time. Exhale, send the hands behind. You might keep them hovering off the ground. You might drop them to the earth or to the hips, elbows back, really lifting through the sternum, so that front breastplate of the ribs. One more inhale. And then gently sitting up. If the legs are crossed, uncross the legs and cross them the other way. If they're starting to go to sleep, then just send them out in front of you. We're going to open the side of the heart space. I'll mirror you. So as you inhale, bring the right hand to the floor, lift the left arm up. As you exhale, maybe start to come a little deeper, but be careful that we're not flying over. So keep the sitting bones on the earth. Stretch through the side body. Maybe turn your head to look up to the sky. Drishti gaze beyond. One more inhale here. Exhale, slowly swap sides. Bring the left hand down. Lift the right up. Turn the head if you can. Really reach that arm all the way overhead, opening all through the side of the ribs. Really working into the heart and lung meridians today, which travel down the front of the body and under the arms. One more inhale here. And then come back to sit. We're going to take a twist again, working into the side body. So inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, turn to the right. Bring that left arm in front, right hand behind on the hip or the earth. Spine nice and strong. Turn the neck as that continuation of the spine. One more. Lovely. Back to center. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, twist to the left. Taking hold of the knee or the thigh with the right hand, left hand to the earth or the hips, spine long, thinking of expansion, drawing all of the vertebrae apart, particularly where they're compressed at the top or the bottom. One more. Finally, come back to center. We're going to release the legs nice and long out to the sides. Doesn't matter how wide they come, they might be here. Flex the feet, lift the toes, send the heels away. So we're lengthening the legs. Going to inhale, lift up. So we're stretching all through the armpit, these heart and lung meridians. And as you exhale, we're tipping forward. So the legs aren't moving. We're rotating the pelvis. So you might stop quite low. Try and keep the head looking forwards at the floor so the spine's long. If you can, on the exhale, maybe come a bit lower. If you can, maybe come a little bit lower. If you're close enough, you might drop the hands to the floor, maybe bend the forearms. Again, this is getting really deep into the hips and all down the side body. So just one more breath here. Well done. Slowly draw yourself back up. And then we're going to come to a hands and knees position. So give yourself a chance. If you need a little blanket or a cushion under your knees, then make sure you're comfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable unnecessarily. So we want knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And we're going to take some nice, gentle hip circles with the breath. And they might be quite cute. You might be gently circling just around the hips and the shoulders, or it might be a little bit bigger as you sink forwards, come back, wiggle through the spine. Doesn't matter. Your practice. One more circle. And then pause before we change direction, nice and gently, noticing one side. It's going to feel a bit different to the other. One more circle. And then allow yourself the time to reset. So bring the knees a little wider as we sink back to Balasana, child's pose. So the hips come backwards and the hands reach forwards. The forehead comes to the earth if you can, or the forehead can come to the hands. Trying to lengthen. So now finding again all that space through each vertebrae in the spine. Stretch through the shoulders, the arms, the hips. One more breath here. And then nice and slowly press through the hands, roll yourself back up. And we're going to come to our angry cat pose. So tuck the bottom in, tuck the chin in, draw the shoulder blades apart, tuck the tummy in, make the back of the heart space. So reminding yourself that energy flows 360 degrees, that pulsation of electromagnetic energy. One more breath here. And then exhale, lift the chin and the tail. Cow pose. Inhale here. Exhale, round the spine. Contract the front body. One more. On the inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone. And then just come to a neutral spine. We're starting in Uttanasana, so forward fold at the front of the mat. So we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to step forward, however that works for you. Come to our long forward fold. So you might be dingle-dangling and just swaying. You might need a bit more support and you might lean on your shins or on your thighs, or you might even press against a wall. All we want is this length all down the backs of the legs, over the glutes, all the way back round the spine. If we're able to, then head below heart, because it has this really lovely soothing quality. If not, head in line with heart is fine. And then staying with those long, deep breaths. Oh, this is going to be our restorative posture. So find your comfortable position. You can lean on a block if you want to. You can bend the knees. You can drape the ribs over the thighs, whatever works for you. Last breath here. And then with a soft bend in the knees, we're going to slowly start to rise. So gently lifting up. Once you come to standing, roll the shoulders backwards into their sockets, hands to the heart, and Jali Mudra into our prayer. Make sure that we've got probably 2/3 of the mat behind us so we can step back as we work through our asana, our postures. So we're going to inhale, lift the hands. As we lift, soft bend in the knees, we're going to try and tuck the tailbone in, send the pelvis forward. Maybe we lift the hands up and over. So we're starting to take a crescent shape here. So opening the whole front body, make it as big as possible. Exhale, slowly come up, tip forward, bend the knees, swan dive. So we're sending the hands all the way down towards the earth. We want to touch the earth. So if you need to bend the knees or use blocks. From here, we're going to inhale, step the left foot back and then bring that back knee down. So our right foot is in front. Lovely. From here, inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to fold the head forward, humble warrior, and send the hands back behind us. So either just free here, like wings, or if you want to intensify, clasp the hands together, send the hands back, shoulders open, coming to yoga mudra. So head is down, hands are up as much as possible. Opening the back body. One more inhale here. We're going to inhale, lift up, try and keep the hands behind you. Again, if you couldn't clasp them together before, you might be able to now. Lift the heart. If you can, tuck the bottom in. We're taking this into a heart opener again, really strong in the shoulders, so be gentle. One more inhale. From here, release the hands. Send them all the way up to the sky. Again, they can be free, like a warrior one posture, or we can bring them to a prayer, or we can bring them behind us, tuck the bottom in and come into this crescent variation. One more inhale here. And then we're going to slowly twist, bringing the left hand down to the earth or to a block, right hand to the sky. So you're coming to your revolved, twisted pavriti. Yes, lovely. Right hand in the sky. One more inhale here. And then on the exhale, you might take that top right hand and send it towards the back of the mat and take that deeper twist. If you've got it in your practice, you might even lift the back foot up. Be careful of the knee and come into the twisted bow variation. Okay, one more breath. And then slowly let the foot go, let the hand come down. We're spinning to the left on our back knee into our gate pose. So slowly rotate round to the left. Left hand comes to the back of the mat. Right hand lifts, right leg extends. You might gaze drishti up to that top hand. You might lift your right foot. If you lift the foot, try and flex the foot. So press the heel away. Tuck that bottom in. We're opening the side body now as well as the heart. One more inhale here. Beautiful. Exhale, let the foot come down, let the hand come down. If you can keep the front leg straight, great. If not, bend it. We're swiveling back to the front of the mat. When we get there, we're going to try and keep this front leg relatively straight and walk the hands forward into half Hanuman, our half pyramid pose. Again, lots of variations. If we can't get anywhere close to the forward fold, we might lean on the thigh, just never lean on the knee if you can help it, 'cause it's a joint. You might have blocks. You might be able to just about touch or touch your toes. If you can, tuck the chin in. So we're rounding the spine, creating all of that expansion in the back body, down the back of the leg, the lower back, the spine, the neck. One more breath here. Well done. And nice and slowly, if you can, try and send that leg back without straightening it. Almost impossible with socks. And we extend that leg behind. So we're going to point the toes this time again to create all that length. And then bring the knee down. Your choice, whether we come back to tabletop or whether you come to a plank. Completely your practice. One more breath wherever you are. And then we're going to drop the knees and come knees, chest, chin to the ground. All come onto forearms for Sphinx and slowly lift into a cobra, or if your forearms are down, a Sphinx. We're going to stay low, elbows back, heart lifted, shoulders in. One breath through, really press the front body into the earth. And then slowly inhale yourself back up. Again, a couple of choices. You can come to tabletop, or you can start to tuck the toes, press the hips up to the sky and find your down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Again, this is a heart opener. So if you need to, bend the knees so that you can really open the shoulders, then start to lengthen. Heels might be up, knees might be bent. 2 breaths, whether you're here or here. Again, if we're in tabletop, try and make it active Tuck the belly in, round the shoulders. Expand the shoulder blades, okay? One more breath. As you inhale, look between the hands. And we're going to slowly find our way back to Uttanasana, forward fold. So it might be a relatively short walk. It might require us to stand up and then forward fold. Doesn't matter how you get there. Find your way. Again, your Uttanasana, it wants to be restful. So it might be dangly, might be supported. You might hate it and it just doesn't work for you, in which case come to stand in Tadasana. Drop back into the anchor of the breath, expanding and releasing, softening. Working into the heart often requires us to soften. Again, point attention, those deep, shadowy, spiky, dark, sometimes a bit nasty part of ourselves. We send love and compassion, it softens, it melts. Doesn't necessarily go away, but we allow it to be. So one more breath, wherever you are. If we're in forward fold, soften your knees. We're going to inhale to lift. This time, send the hands all the way up to the sky. Bring them to touch if you can. Tuck the bottom in, lift the heart so you can come to that back bend variation. Exhale, hands up and over, swan dive. Hands all the way to the earth. Bend the knees as much as you need to. As we inhale, this time we step right foot back, right knee down, so that we're leading on the left side. Lovely. From here, inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower the head, send the hands behind. Again, they might be our wings, they might be flying, they might be clasped together, or really draw the shoulders apart. Really deep opening here of the shoulders. One more breath. As you inhale, lift the body, try and keep the hands clasped behind you. Tuck the tail, lift the heart. So we're lengthening through the crown of the head. So we're coming almost to a half camel here. One more breath. Inhale, release the hands. Maybe they come to touch. Maybe the shoulders rotate behind and we bring ourselves into this lovely crescent lunge. Exhale, we start to twist the body. The right hand comes down, the left hand lifts. Pavriti, our revolved lunge. Pavriti. One more breath. From here, inhale. Hand comes down. I'm just going to spin to the other side. We're going to spin on our back knee. So spin round. This time the right hand comes to the back of the mat. That left leg extends. Left leg, left hand lifts. Look up to the sky. Again, your option to lift the left leg. You need to move the weight into the bottom hand. Flex the heel away. Keep lifting. Think about that expansion of the upper body. One more. Exhale, ground the foot and the hand. We start to walk ourselves back towards the front of the mat. If we can, keeping that front leg long. If not, getting there and then starting to lengthen the front leg. Again, you might have blocks. You might be leaning on the thigh. You might be able to start softening forwards, drawing the head towards the knee. Lift the toes to lengthen the calf. One more. Well done. Press the hands. Kick that left leg behind you. If you can, hover it off the ground. If not, toes down, heel back. One more breath. Either knee down, tabletop, or step back plank. Your choice. Active. Round the spine. One breath here. Contract front body, expand back body. One more inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or forearms to Sphinx. Sphinx or cobra, or maybe an up dog this time. One more breath. Slowly lift up. You've got 3 breaths, so you might take your active tabletop. You might take your down dog or a nice soft down dog. You might sink all the way to Balasana. So give yourself a moment to find your posture. 3 restorative breaths, expanding and softening. Creating space and letting it go. Finding that ebb and flow. One more breath. If you're in child's pose, maybe come to tabletop. If you're in tabletop and you want to come to down dog, also your choice. One last breath here. And then walk yourself forward, maybe a little hop, and come into your Uttanasana forward fold, or whichever posture or variation you're using. Maybe you've got your Tadasana. One last breath here. And then we're going to do that again on both sides, but we're going to do it slightly more flowing this time. So bringing a little bit more heat, because that heat in our belly, that agony, that fire is what really brings that passion, that drive into our hearts. So one more breath. Soft knees, start to lift. Send the hands straight up to the sky, lifting, lifting, lifting. Exhale, hands come down all the way to earth. Ground the hands. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, step back, left foot, left knee comes down. Make sure you're settled in your lunge. Inhale, send the hands behind, open the heart. Exhale, sink the head further down. If you need to walk your right foot over towards the edge of the mat a bit, give your hips some space rather than the foot falling over. One more breath here. Inhale, lift the heart, send the hands back, maybe tilt the pelvis forward, half camel variation with Yoga Mudra. Inhale the hands to the sky. You can bring the hands together in a prayer, or you can bring the backs of the hands together. Reverse prayer. Try and remember which one you've got on top. I tend to go right hand first. And then lengthen. So sink in the hips, but be careful not to fly forward with the knee because you'll hurt the pelvis. So stay nice and solid foundation. Lift here. And then exhale. The left hand comes to the floor. The right hand lifts to the sky. So your revolved twist. Yeah. I'll give you a few variations. So you might stay here for 3 breaths. You might send that right hand behind you and follow it with your gaze. You might come, can't find my foot, into that twisted bow variation. Doesn't matter which one. One more breath. Wherever you are, release the foot, release the hand. We're coming straight round to the left. Bring the left hand to the back of the mat. Right hand lifts, maybe the right foot lifts. Open through the heart. Variation, send the hand down towards the foot, or bend the foot, kick back, hold the foot and come to the bow variation, lift the chin. One more breath here. Slowly release the foot, release the hand, and then start to walk yourself all the way back to the front of the mat. One breath here. Exhale, forward fold, half Hanuman, Ardha Hanuman, over that front leg, half split. One more. Slowly kick that right leg behind, give it a little wiggle, and then either knee down, active tabletop, or press back plank. Weight is over the hands. 2 breaths. Contract the front body. Expand the back body. Last inhale. And you can knees, chest, chin, or sphinx, or you can chaturanga, bend the elbows straight to the floor. Inhale, lift into your heart opener, sphinx, cobra, or up dog. One more breath. Inhale, press back, tabletop or down dog. 2 breaths. If you're building that fire and it's getting really ragey, exhale through the mouth. Just swapping sides, and then we'll go on the other side. When you're ready, look between the hands, walk yourself forward into your Uttanasana, Tadasana, or other restorative posture. One more breath. On the next inhale, unfurling. Slowly coming up, send your hands to the sky. If you did the reverse prayer with the backs of the hands together, do left hand on top this time. Send the pelvis forward, tuck the bottom, soft bend in the knees, send the hands back, lift the chin. Exhale, forward fold. This time step back with right foot into your lunge and Anjanasana. Let the back knee come down. Inhale, send the head down, hands back, maybe clasp the hands together. That really deep, humble warrior, hands in yoga mudra. One more breath. Inhale, lift the heart. Slide the hands down the leg. Lift sternum, chest to the sky. One more. As you inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Lift the hands together. Prayer or reverse prayer. Come to your crescent posture here. One more inhale. Exhale, tip forward. Right hand down, left hand up. Revolve, twist, variations. Send the left hand back. Lift the left foot. Oh no, hang on, right foot. And grab hold of it. So take a twisted version, a twisted bow version. One more breath. Let the foot go, let the hand go. We're turning to the right this time. Right hand to the back of the mat. Gate pose, Parigasana. Maybe you lift the left leg and the left arm. Maybe the left leg's down. Maybe you bend the knee, take hold of it. Kick back, bow variation. One breath. Release the foot, release the hand. Maybe walk the hand or hands all the way back to the front of the mat. Come to our half split pose, your variation. Maybe we fold a little deeper, maybe it's supported, maybe we have blocks. One more. Press the hands, kick that foot back, either toes on the floor or hover, and then either drop the knee to your active tabletop or lift the hips, come to your plank. Either way, weights over the hands, tummy's tucked in, hips in line with the body. One more breath. Building strength and resilience from the inside out. One more inhale. Exhale to the earth. Chaturanga, knees, chest, chin, sphinx. Heart open. Sphinx, cobra, up dog. One more. Inhale. 3 breaths, so you can take your tabletop, you can take your down dog, you can take Balasana, child's pose. Whichever posture you're in needs to feel relatively restorative. Come back to the anchor of the breath, that connection between the internal and the external world. That lever we have to bring control back into the body, into the nervous system, into the energy in the body, into the emotional body and how we feel. Extending that expansive light, care, compassion, love throughout the body, into all those little dark nooks and crannies of ourselves, of our soul. Scooping it all up, holding on to all of it with love. One more breath. And then we're going to take a final version. You can continue kind of as we were, or we can intensify a little bit. So just take a moment to check in with your energy level. Again, we want to cultivate this inner fire in the colder months, but we don't want to completely do ourselves in. So just notice how you feel. So either coming back into your tabletop or into your down dog, your choice. Look between the hands, step, hop, forward fold, one breath. Uttanasana. Slowly lifting, rising up to the sky. Hands together or reverse. Come to your crescent variation, Ardha Chandrasana, and then hands all the way to the earth. Inhale, left foot steps back. Variation here, either back knee down or back knee up. If back knee is up, press the heel like a warrior. Inhale, send the hands behind, maybe clasp them together, head down. So in a true humble warrior, if we're standing with the hands up to the sky, otherwise knee down, doesn't matter. One more breath. Inhale, lift the upper body up. Warrior stance. So we really need to press the front toes. See if you can come backwards. Send the hands away, much harder standing. One more breath. Inhale. Hands to the sky. Bend that front knee a little bit more if you can. Maybe you come to the reverse variation with the hands. Lifting up, stretch all down the armpits, down the sides. The body get deep into those heart and lung meridians. Exhale, start to tip forward and twist. Left hand down, right up. If this is too intense in a standing lunge, drop the back knee. You can use a block under your hand. One more breath here. Exhale, maybe send that right hand behind you. You can come to the bow variation if the back knee is down. If you're standing, you might twist a little deeper and come onto the sides of the feet. One more breath. And then bring the hand back. If we're in low lunge, let's try and press up into high lunge now so that we can all do this together. From here, we're going to walk our hands round to the left like we would have done to come onto our knee, but this time we're coming to side lunge, skandasana. So sorry, I'm not mirroring you. But using our left knee, we're coming over to the left, so back of the mat. And we might be high up, we might be lower down. So just see where you are. Either way, try not to tip forward. Heart up, okay? One more breath. And then we slowly come back. So come through center, swap the knees. Once we've bending that front right knee, then turn the torso and the back hip. So we've been careful of this front knee. Back to lunge. Again, back knee up or down, your choice. Inhale here. Exhale, step back, plank or tabletop. So we're either here or here. And then you've got final option to come to a fallen angel if we're in plank. So we lift the right leg, step it over the left. Sorry to turn my back to you. Lift the right hand. Again, the hand is optional. If we're in tabletop, we can do a version of this. We kick the right leg up, bring the knee over the left. Let me do it the other way so you're not looking at my back. And then lift the right hand, okay? So here or here. Beautiful. One more breath. Back to plank or tabletop. And then as you exhale to the earth, inhale, lift. Find that heart opener. Exhale, come back. Tabletop, down dog. Balasana if you want to, but we're only here for 2 breaths, so whatever works for you. Maybe a little wiggle from side to side. I'm just going to spin round. Then our very last round of this sequence, this namaskar. So either tabletop or down dog. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, walk, step, whatever, forward. Uttanasana or Tadasana, one breath. Let it go. Ground into the feet and the earth. Inhale, lift the hands to the sky. Send those hips forward. Lengthen through the heart, the hands. And then forward fold. Hands come all the way to the earth. Inhale, the right leg steps back this time. Again, you might have back knee down or ground back heel. Inhale, the hands behind. Maybe they clasp together. Maybe they lift to the sky. Open the shoulders, drop the head. Humble warrior. Hold here. Bend that front knee. But as you lift on the inhale, lift the heart. Try and keep that front knee bent. Back hip open. One more inhale. Inhale the hands to the sky. Maybe sink a little deeper so the lower body's coming down and forwards. Upper body, upper neck. Really open the side body. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up. Maybe your back knee comes down. Send that left hand behind you. Same if we're in the standing lunge. Maybe come on the side of the feet. Lovely. One more. And then slowly bring that left hand back. If you're in low lunge, stand up on that back leg if you can. We're going to inhale, lift the hands to the heart. Turn to the right, so swivel the feet. And then we bend that right knee to the back of the mat, skandasana side. Inhale here. If you're able to, come lower, but try and keep the heart up so we're not collapsing. Maybe lift the toes. Lots of variations. One more breath. Inhale, see if you can shift the weight back to the front of the mat. So we're doing same posture other side. Then spin the front toe and the body so that we're being careful of that knee. High lunge, low lunge. Last breath. Sink in the hips. Inhale, either bring the knee or the foot back, coming to your tabletop or your plank fallen angel. So you can lift the left leg if you're in plank, step it over, lift, hand can be up or over. If we're on knees, kick up bent right leg, step that knee over the left knee, so you're crossing the knees, and you might have right hand lifts or hip, or whatever variation you want. Last breath. Come back. On the inhale to plank or tabletop, weight is forward. Last inhale to the earth. Inhale to lift up. Oh, last heart opener, sphinx or cobra or up dog. Soften those shoulders. If we can come back up through our angry cat last time. Nice and slow. Walk the hands under shoulders. Tuck the tummy and lift through the center of the spine. Exhale, balasana, knees wide, sink back. You might take a little moment with the arms in front of you, stretch out those shoulders, maybe come onto fingertips, create a dome with the hands, press, and then bend the elbows. You might rest the elbows on the knees or bring the hands to the feet. Restore. Let it go. Full softness into the earth now. Expanding, melting away. And maybe exhale through the mouth. Oh, let it go. One more. And then nice and slowly rising. If you can low kneel, great. If you need a bit of support, then put a block or a pillow between your heels and your bottom. If this is not your friend, maybe you can high kneel. If you're high kneeling, bring the feet, the knees even, a little bit further apart. We're all going to come to high kneeling in a minute. You can start here or you can start here. If kneeling is not your friend at all, sit on your bottom with your legs out in front of you. Maybe sit on a pillow just to lift the hips a little bit. We're going to come to baby camel and full camel. So baby camel first, if you can do the low version. So we're going to inhale the hands to the sky. As we lift the hands, we lift the heart and we tuck the tailbone backwards. So we're creating this big arc with the spine, arms out, open the inner channels of the arms, hands to the hips, elbows back, or maybe hands to the earth. Lift the heart. If you've got a bit more space, you might lift the heart as you send the hands further back. I can forward on my mat here. If you feel you've got quite open quads, you might be able to come onto your elbows. See if you can do it without your knees lifting. I can't. You might be able to come all the way to the earth on your head. Okay, wherever you are, one more breath. And then come out the way you came in, nice and slowly. And then counter posture, forward fold. You can do this over knees together or knees away. Again, your variation, maybe hands on the knees or hands by the feet. One breath here. Let it go. Slowly rising. You might choose to opt out and come to the earth. You might choose another baby camel. You might come to our full version of Ustrasana. So knees are hip width apart. So give yourself a bit of space. We need that space. You might choose flat feet. You might choose tucked toes. Again, as we lift the arms on the inhale, we don't just lift the arms, the whole body moves. So send the pelvis forward, tuck the tailbone. Lift, so we're trying to make the spine as long as possible. Lift the hands, as though we're coming to that crescent, and then release. Arms as wide as possible. Hands to hips, lower back. Maybe you can release one hand to one heel or one to the other, but keep that lift. So no saggy bottoms. Nobody likes a soggy bottom or a saggy one. So 2 more breaths here, wherever you are. Take your variation, lift up one more. Inhale up to the sky. And slowly down. You might choose to take a cat here. If you want a bit more space, then you might take a little cat cow. You might take a little wiggle. Or if you're done, cooked, you might just come straight down to child's pose. Nice long breaths, I know. Heart openers can be really challenging for some of us, particularly if we really hold or store our emotions, our feelings in that heart space. So bursting it open can feel a real challenge. And additionally, in our modern lives, we spent far more time hunched forwards over things, steering wheels, laptops, phones, sitting on the sofa than we do. Open. So really cultivating this practice of openness. Release through the mouth. One more. And then gently, gently coming up. Let the legs go if they're not already. Oh, a little wiggle, a little pat, little rub. Bring the hands to the earth. We're scooting the bottom forward, coming onto our backs. Maybe a little squeeze of the knees, a little rock from side to side. And you might choose just to stay here and take some knee circles. If you want one final reclined heart opener, then send the feet away. We're going to come to fish pose. Nice and long. Lift the heart up, so press the tailbone into the earth, hands out to the side. We're going to bend the elbows, bring the hands under the spine and start to lift up onto the crown of the head. So really press with the bottom and the head, create an arch. Big yawn, if you can. Last breath here, well done. And then come out the way you came in. So let go of the head, release the hands, slowly bend the knees. Maybe a squeeze of the knees, maybe a lengthening of the legs, a wiggle of the ankles. You can hold the backs of the legs for support. If you have a shoulder stand, then lift the hips, hold them with your hands on your hips. Maybe even, because we've done so much opening of the spine, you can drop the toes towards the floor and come to Halasana, plow pose. Doesn't matter, wherever you are. Just want to lengthen the back of the body. One more breath. And then come out the way you came in. Maybe a final squeeze. And then a last penultimate posture, a little twist. Knees come over to the right, head to the left. If you want to deepen the twist, take that bottom right foot on top. So cross the right leg over the left. Head to the left. Deep diaphragmatic breaths, yogi breath. Expansion, then softness. One more. Beautiful. Back to the center and cross the legs. Maybe cross the other way. Left leg on top. Knees to the left, head to the right. And when you're ready, slowly come back to center. Final squeeze or rock. Coming to your Shavasana. So you might want to grab blankets or jumpers or socks. If you've got a bolster or a nice big cushion, you can place it behind the knees. You might even want to put one under the middle of the back end of the spine, hands out to the side. Give yourself time to settle, to create space. Make sure the feet are nice and wide, edges of the mat, the arms are out to the side. Final long, deep cleansing breaths. Inhale. Infinite expansion beyond the physical. Exhale. Soften away into the earth, into the space around you. Inhale. Expand. Exhale. Release. Last one together. Let it go. Staying where you are, keeping the awareness on that anchor of the breath if it's helpful. Softening. Allowing the edges of the body to melt away, to vibrate away into that energetic field. As you sink deeper into your Shavasana, the earth's embrace. And in these closing moments of your Shavasana, just going to read you a couple of verses from the Chandogya and Upanishad as follows. In the city of Brahman is a secret dwelling, the lotus of the heart. Within this dwelling is a space, and within that space is the fulfillment of our desires. What is within that space should be longed for and realized. As great as the infinite space beyond is the space within the lotus of the heart. Both heaven and earth are contained in that inner space, both fire and earth, sun and moon, lightning and star. Whether we know it in this world or know it not, everything is contained in that inner space. Giving yourselves the final few moments here. Ever so slowly. Drawing the awareness back into the physical body. Perhaps noticing where the edges of the earth, the edges of the body meet the earth. Drawing awareness back into that anchor of the breath as you inhale. Expand, exhale, soften away. Gently bringing movement, fingers and toes, arms and legs. Maybe you inhale, stretch or extend the arms and legs. Exhale, sigh or yawn it away. Maybe starting to bend the knees, feet to the earth or knees to the chest. Gradually rolling onto one side. And finding your way to a comfortable seated position. Perhaps the hands come back to Padma at the heart or Anjali. Finding that gesture of balance. Reminding ourselves that that solid foundation comes from within, comes from love, that expansive energy. The more love we can extend to ourselves, the bigger we can be, the bigger the joy in our lives can be, the bigger we can feel into those more challenging moments and ride the wave. Offering this practice of self-compassion and love to yourself. As you thank yourselves for your beautiful, strong, heart-opening practice this evening, and a big thank you from me to all of you. I'll just come over and unmute you all. You don't have to say goodbye. Well, you can if you want.